Outpost Helix 7. A mining station that never slept, the air was filled with the hum of machinery, the low grind of drills, and the tired sigh of atmosphere recyclers working overtime. The Draconi made up most of the workforce, towering figures built for power. Among them, the few human contractors looked small, fragile, out of place. Curiss stood in the manufacturing bay, running diagnostics on a plasma cutter. At 8'2", she made the heavy equipment look almost delicate. Scars marked her arms, memories of a decade spent in military service. They called her beautiful, magnificent, terrifying, but never approachable. Even other Draconi kept their distance, always polite, always careful. It had been 8 years since anyone had looked at her with anything more than respect, or fear. She'd learned to live with that. Mostly, the new human engineering crew arrived during Delta shift. Smaller bodies moving carefully through oversized corridors. Curiss barely looked up. Humans rarely lasted long on Helix 7. But then, one of them walked into her bay. He saw her, and smiled, not the nervous, "Please don't kill me," kind of smile she was used to, just friendly. His badge read, Michael Rivera, engineering specialist. Curiss froze. There was no protocol for this. He waved, and went straight to his station, like it was the most normal thing in the world. 2 weeks later, she still hadn't figured him out. Fearless, or completely oblivious, he asked her opinion on calibrations, shared lunch when the commissary forgot his order, told awful jokes about thermodynamics, the kind that somehow made her laugh. One shift, he said casually, "You're really tall. Does that make the work easier, or do they just scale everything weird here?" Curiss blinked. "Both," she said. He nodded thoughtfully. "Makes sense. Engineering's all about sight lines anyway, though right now, I'd trade height for better lighting." He squinted at the control panel, and she leaned over to adjust it for him. "Better?" "Perfect," he said. "Thanks, Kira." He said her name like it wasn't attached to a living weapon, like it was just hers. During maintenance rotation, a support beam collapsed across the system housing. Curiss lifted the 2-ton beam easily, standard procedure for her. Michael didn't even flinch. He crawled under it without hesitation. "Appreciate it," he said. "Let me know if it gets heavy." "It's fine," she answered, surprised. Most people stared in awe when she used her strength. He just worked, efficient. Calm. Later, he smiled and said, "You make this job way easier. I'd be stuck here for hours without you." Something unfamiliar warmed in her chest. When was the last time someone treated her strength as helpful, not frightening? She started looking forward to her shifts, smiling more, laughing at his terrible jokes, and for the first time in 8 years, she didn't feel like too much. The strength festival came with the usual fanfare, competitions of power, endurance, and skill. Curiss had won 5 years in a row. Every victory felt emptier than the last. "Mind if I watch?" Michael asked. "I'm curious about Draconi traditions." She agreed, expecting the usual. He'd be impressed, maybe a little intimidated. He wasn't. She dominated every event, lifted what others couldn't, fought like a legend, and when it was over, when the crowd roared and she stood on the champion's platform, Michael was grinning. "That was incredible," he said. "Your technique in the grappling match was amazing." Then quieter. "Must be lonely though, being that far ahead of everyone." The words stopped her. "What?" "Winning everything. Being the strongest. That's isolating, isn't it?" There was no pity in his voice, only empathy. And suddenly, she was talking, really talking, about the years of distance, of being admired but untouched. Of wondering if anyone would ever see her as more than just power in motion. Michael listened completely, then said softly, "You're not too much. They're just not enough. There's a difference." That night, Curiss looked at her reflection. For the first time in years, she didn't see a weapon, she saw a person worth knowing. Michael's 6-month contract ended on a cold Thursday. The commissary buzzed with a farewell gathering, humans and Draconi mixing more easily than before. Curiss tried to be professional, failed completely when she saw him. "Thank you," she said, her voice rough, "for seeing me." He looked confused for a moment, then smiled. "Kira, you're impossible to miss. You're amazing. Anyone who can't see that has defective sensors." Then he paused. "I'm renewing my contract. Another 6 months, if the station approves." Her heart stopped. "Why?" "Because the work's good. The people are good. And, my friend's here. He said friend gently, leaving space for more, without pressure. Also, he added, someone has to make sure you eat lunch. You're terrible at remembering. She laughed. Almost cried. I remember sometimes. Rarely, he teased. She watched his shuttle leave the station, and something shifted. She wasn't too much, she was exactly enough for someone who saw her clearly. 3 days later, the shuttle returned. Michael stepped out, smiling. Good to be back, he said. Welcome home, Curiss replied. Behind them, the Draconi whispered, about the small human who smiled at their strongest warrior, and made her smile back.